Wednesday, live featured live Pacific on TBS and Max. And yes, it will be Jamie Hayter, Chris Statlander, in the Old Heart semifinals. The champion is going to go. The winner is going to face Mercedes Monet for a chance to face the champion. It's actually I am live. And fans, we heard from Ricochet said that Speedball and Kevin Knight don't respect the chain of command on the AEW roster. Now they're going straight to the top. Take a look at the grounding. Speedball and Kevin Knight will take on the Wednesday at the Young Bucks return out. And here's we got a covered up close up of Matt Dick. We're not too pleased to see Speedball and Kevin Knight celebrating and drinking champagne with our last night. What a great match. This is going to be Wednesday on Dynamite. Tag with Mighty. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Still has Harley Cameron in it. I know I came on here super late. But I missed you guys. Where y'all at? What's going on, people? To see where the best wrestle. Cuz plug me. Yeah. Yeah, I ain't really been paying attention too much. Today was what's been going on. Although I did hear about that school shooting. I was like, damn, for real? Haven't had one of those in a minute, which is always a good thing. Yo, RB, what's happening? Right. How you doing tonight? Using the army to seize power. Against the dark ambition. Well, that was a pretty good show. Yo, Tony Khan put on back-to-back good shows. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, keep this up, Tony. This is the AEW we love. Keep that shit up. And Mercedes taking the tag loss today? Yo, her and Harley are like, I don't know. I almost see her and Harley have good chemistry, like how Mercedes and Bailey had that good chemistry.
You know, she's really taking on to the puppet too. Yeah. Did you ever bump Havana? She was a Cuban rapper from Miami, Florida, back in the. Oh, did I ever used to bump? No, I didn't, but I have heard some of her music though. But that was through third parties. See, there we go. That should do it right there. Okay. Where my lighter? Grab my lighter. We about to step outside to my office. Yeah, I think it's gonna be all in. Because they could run. And I seen somewhere where they said it wasn't gonna be for the TBS title, it was gonna be for the Ring of Honor TV title. So I'm thinking, what if okay. So what they could do is, which would be interesting, is if they ran it back at Double or Nothing, and the ROH Women's TV title was on the line, and Mercedes would happen to win that, Athena she would get a rematch. She would automatically get a rematch. But this time, it would be for the Ring of Honor Women's TV title and the TBS title. Yeah. That's the thing. So and I think somewhere along the line, Tony Khan got something big for Harley. Because she's been getting a lot of TV time. Like it started towards the end of last year and it's carried over into this year. And she's been getting a lot of TV time. She's been getting big time title matches, and she's really improving. And that puppet is fucking hilarious. Yo, that's the new Mr. Sacco, Minnie Monet. Minnie Monet is the new Mr. Sacco. Minnie Monet, would you like to meet Mr. Sacco? Oh, Mick, you got to do an appearance at AEW one time. Mr. Sacco beats Minnie Monet. That would be hilarious. And I forgot to put this in the chat earlier tonight. But shout out to Eric Bischoff. Because his comments about Tony Khan breaking Nitro's record and the words that he said, how can you be mad at the words that the man said? He was absolutely right. He said, regardless if you like the product, don't like the product, watch the product, don't watch the product. I don't even watch the product, but he achieved something great. So I congratulate him. He didn't go, he did it on his own dime, And he did it. Congratulations. I'm like, yo, that's a big man right there. But Eric, I think Eric Bischoff has become such a WWE guy. is funny because he was not a WWE guy, but we have to think about it. As much as Eric put in to try to end WWF back in the 90s, there's some bitterness that Eric carried for a long time. And for people that weren't around, or people who haven't seen like certain documentaries where they talked about it or they kind of just overlooked that, I'm gonna give you guys a little history lesson on Eric Bischoff and the WWF/E. Before Eric Bischoff went to the AWA in 1988, 88, 89-ish. No, it was about 89, 90. Yeah, it was about 89, 90. And or it could have been between 88 and 90. Yeah, it was between 88 and 90 because AWA closed their doors in like the summer or the fall of 1990. So he went and auditioned. I think it was to be an interviewer or something, and he didn't get the job. He said, "Yeah, I failed. I didn't do a good job." But somehow that has to be some type of bitterness. It gotta hurt a little bit because if your dream is to go and work for Vince McMahon and work in the WWF, and you don't have that opportunity, and then here comes WCW giving you that opportunity, what you gonna do? You gonna fuel that fire. You gonna try to do everything. You gonna be like, look, this is what you could have had. But no, you guys chose to turn it down. So now I'm gonna do everything that I can do to make sure that I beat you. And I'm gonna start off by taking about half your roster. Which you did. But it was more 80s guys outside of, well, Hall was an 80s guy. Nash wasn't an 80s. He was more, well, yeah, he was more 90s. Yeah, 90s. You know. WCW where the big boys played. I always hated that slogan, where the big boys play. Sounded kind of fruity. How would you book the AEW women's division? How would I book it? Okay, so let's see. We have the women's title, we have the TBS title. I would put all the mid-card women and I would have them battling it out for the TBS title. And then using that title to elevate like maybe a certain crop of the mid-card talent. But not like the main event talent, like Toni Storm, Mercedes, Stat, Mariah May, them I would have them, in the main event picture. And I would just have that rotate, Now, I would contemplate having a women's tag division. Only because I think the women's tag division in AEW could probably thrive better than the WWF women's tag belts. Because you could like Mariah and Mina. And then you could, Deanna and oh God, I'm drunk. Johnny TV's wife. Valkyrie, my bad. And so that's two teams right there. And then you could probably do like Stat and Willow, put them in the tag division. You know what I'm saying? So you got three teams there, and then so that's three teams. So I say for the tag team titles, I would have at least a six women tag team. 6 tag team groups. And I would center that around them. And then along the line, kind of have like some makeshift teams come along, kind of battle it out. Eric Bischoff carried bitterness for Vince Russo in TNA and the show. Facts, he did. Fun fact, Rick Rude showed Eric Bischoff the ropes in WCW before his friendship with Hogan. Once Bischoff got with Hogan, Bischoff got too big for his bridges. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Because Eric Bischoff didn't know Hulk Hogan. And Ric Flair kind of pointed that out. You know what I'm saying? During a certain promo. He said, and who introduced you to Hulk Hogan? Nobody? You know what I'm saying? And that was a shoot, too. Because Eric didn't know. I have Harley Cameron cost Mercedes Moné Team Style and create a best of. You know what? AEW hasn't had that yet. That's a good idea. They haven't had that yet. Yeah, and I've been kind of calling for them to have like that type of match. Because they got wrestling. Because I was thinking this last night during the Ospreay Takesha match. I would have them do a best of 7 series between those two. You know what I'm saying? Or I would even put, you know what? The best way to elevate Adam Cole and to get Adam Cole back in that main event scene, I would have him do a best of 7 series against who could he do that against? Oh. I would do a best of 7 series with Adam Cole and Josh Alexander. Oh, that would cook. That would cook right there. And that would elevate not only Josh Alexander, but that would elevate Adam Cole back into the spot where he rightfully belongs. And that, my friends, is undisputed. I don't like that they changed their name. I have a feeling, was that for some legal reasons why they had to finally not use Undisputed? For example, when Rick Rude was trying to wrestle again and pay the lawyers in London off of Bischoff, wouldn't it help Rude at all? But whatever Hulk needed, oh yeah. But it's a good thing. Rick Rude didn't need to wrestle here. I mean, he could have, you know what I'm saying? Because as we've seen, guys have come back, but with his condition, because you got to remember, Rick Rude would take some of the most ugliest bumps on his back. And I think for him, it was good that he didn't come back. It sucks what happened, afterwards, because he wasn't around long after 98, because he ended up, dying in 99. So, and it sucks because Rick Rude was such a great fucking wrestler. He doesn't get enough. He doesn't get enough credit. Rick Rude has put on. He was a technical master in that ring. The only problem that I have with Rick Rude It's the same problem that I have with Ric Flair and a lot of these other guys growing up that we all used to watch. Was the fact that, sorry, CM Punk, their move set was the same. He didn't do anything different. Right in the post. Boom, bounce, flip, atomic drop, um, military press slam. The other atomic drop, both ways. And then he will always do the camel clutch, you know, and then they would get up, he'd jump on them and boom. You know, it's the same thing every match. Rick Rude was in all three companies. Yep, he sure was. He was in he started in the NWA. Well, I don't think he started in the NWA, but he was in the NWA / WCW. Jim Crockett Promotions. Rick Rude versus Randy Orton. 5-star classic. 5-star classic. Oh, wait, hold on for a second, RB. Okay. How would I book Cena versus Roode? You know, how would I book? You know what? I probably wouldn't book it. Only because the match would be too boring. I think their two styles would clash horribly. You know. But I mean, if they're both in the same company or whatever, I mean, you would eventually have to book it. But if I did, I would probably, it'll probably have a stipulation. It'll probably be like a cage match or something. If I did book it. Because, I mean, Cena can wrestle. I've seen him do it. But how he wrestles, it doesn't match good with Rick Rude's style. And it would be a lot of botches in there. The match wouldn't flow the way it needed to. What about the Thugonomics scene? It'll probably be the same thing. It'll probably be the same thing. Did I just see somebody to scoop up a bunch of dirt? Oh shit. Well, yeah, it would be the same. Because Cena's style never changed. You know, it's the same old thing. But I think Rook probably could carry him though. But the only reason why I say that is because I'm thinking about his matches with the Ultimate Warrior. And although those like their match at WrestleMania 5 was a great match. And again in 89, and then the third match a year later, again at SummerSlam in the cage, that was still a good one. Could have been better, but it was still good for what it was. And Rude pretty much carried Warrior through that whole match. And I think that probably might have been the same thing with Cena. He would carry Cena just to make Cena look good. Because you know Rude is going to look good, but you want to make sure that Cena looks good too. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. For the title, not for the title? Kurt Angle could literally have a great match with anybody. You know. Because that's kind of why I kind of like Josh Alexander, because he reminds me of a Canadian Angle. And with that headgear, that reminds me of when Edge had shaved Angle's head. And you remember Angle had wore that wig and he had the headgear to hold down the wig. The wig. That shit was funny as fuck. Bald Angle. Oh yeah, most definitely. Matter of fact, I watched that. I watched that WrestleMania last night, 19. When he was supposed to be in the match, but he got hurt and ended up showing up in the match anyways later on. I don't think they see, and that was during Paul Heyman's time too, because that was when Paul was, or was no, Stephanie was still GM. Paul was the booker. I don't, and Paul. You know what? This is what I would have did. I would have had Paul Heyman be Nathan Jones' talking piece. And I would have built Nathan up to be this monster, which he was. You know, he did time in his, and I believe that was a shoot too. He did time in one of the most grimiest prisons in the world. Build him up. Have him turn on Taker, have him beat Taker, build him up, and then have him and Lesnar go at it. He did. Oh yeah, he would have been a star. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Lesnar versus Nathan Jones. And you see, you have them battle it out, right? And then the culmination would be in Hell in a Cell. Yeah. That's big money. Fun fact, Paul Heyman wanted Chris Jericho on SmackDown. Facts. That is facts. Funny thing is, when they did the brand split, Jericho was on SmackDown. He started on SmackDown, went to Raw, then goes back to SmackDown, then goes back to Raw, then goes back to I ain't gonna lie. I wish we could have got AEW Jericho at the beginning of AEW in WWE. Yup. Yup. He could have. Because you already had him like listening to Taker. Taker was supposed to be his mentor or whatever, and you know. But some of that onus fell on Nathan too. Yeah. They did. They did. As a matter of fact, I don't think Triple H should have beat Chris Jericho at Mania. How do you have Jericho beat Rock and Austin the same night, and then beat Rock and Austin again at the Royal Rumble, Rock, and then at No Way Out with Austin, just lose to Triple H at WrestleMania? How does that make any sense? Triple H, although he was a big star, at that time, Triple H was not a bigger star than Rock or Austin. Triple H didn't get that moniker until afterwards, when he was the guy. You know what I'm saying? But while Rock and Austin was there, Triple H was never the guy. Even when he was world champion, he was not the guy. So I don't know why Vince booked that to have him do all of that just to lose to Triple H and one of the guys. Oh God, that main event was horrible too. Nah, you didn't. Not at all. But hey, RB, I'm about to go ahead and jump off of here. I will be live again tomorrow. And I don't know who is hosting WrestleMania on that side, but I will be hosting WrestleMania over here. I don't know if I'm going to do both nights yet. I might just do night one and then just go in somebody's chat and watch night two. Or I might do, I'll know by tomorrow night. So yeah, I will be hosting WrestleMania over here, you know. So Vince McMahon wasn't feeling Chris Jericho. Nope. He was a WCW guy. You know what I'm saying? So, well, all right. I'm up out of here. Enjoy the rest of your night. I'll catch you tomorrow, RB. And like always, we're going to keep it cracking. We're going to stay militant and we about this bitch. Peace.